The movie opens with a young woman, breathless, trying to escape a pursuer. Covered in blood, she runs in terror toward a gate. Sadly, the gate is locked, and suddenly, she is captured. Following this intense scene, the story flashes back to the beginning. We are introduced to Ava, Brad, and Tommy, the hosts of the popular crime podcast, Serial Chat. They are celebrating a massive success. Their show recently helped solve the 40-year-old cold case of the serial killer, the Jolly Ripper. This breakthrough instantly made their podcast explode and gain national attention. Their success relies heavily on their mentor, Professor Lance Clements, a former FBI agent who spent 30 years in the Violent Crimes Unit. During his career, he hunted famous serial killers such as John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer. Lance possesses an instinct, an ability to detect evil in others. This skill made him suspicious of John Wayne Gacy. He purposefully delayed Gacy's interrogation so police could get a search warrant for Gacy's home before Gacy returned to clear the evidence.
When Lance sat with Gacy, he noticed Gacy becoming anxious. His instinct told him Gacy was hiding something, so he asked about the blood on his clothing. Gacy claimed he had hit a deer on the road. He tried saving it, but the deer died in his arms, covering him in blood. Lance continued with more questions. He provoked Gacy into talking until Gacy became enraged and his personality shifted, asking if Lance still wanted to speak to his other self. The interrogation proceeded as planned. Detectives successfully secured the search warrant and quickly found 3 bodies at Gacy's house. The case cemented Lance's reputation as the best serial killer hunter. Upon retirement, he became a teacher to pass his knowledge to the next generation. Suddenly, a news alert came in. A serial killer who had evaded capture for 50 years was finally arrested. This triggered a debate among them. Brad argued the killer had won, having lived his life free and only being caught at age 90. Ava and Lance disagreed, stating that justice still prevails, even when it comes late.
They then informed the audience that the next episode would focus on the Vindicator. This serial killer is famous for his specific modus operandi, targeting a small group of people, killing one victim, and then dissolving the rest in sulfuric acid. The Vindicator has committed murders across 49 American states. Arizona is the only state left, and they believe he will strike there again. Ava then announced a surprise. Their podcast crew would travel to Arizona to investigate the Vindicator. She revealed that her investigation had yielded evidence capable of catching the killer, a secret she had even hidden from Tom and Brad. They finally left for Arizona. Tommy rented Hendricks Ranch there, the childhood home of Todd Hendricks, a former police officer who was once the main suspect in the Vindicator's murders. There, they were greeted by Steve, Todd's son. Steve talked about how his father was accused of murder and forced out of town. He later died in 2002, broken and alone. As Steve was about to leave, Ava asked him to appear on their podcast as Todd Hendricks' son, and Steve agreed.
They then set up their equipment and started their first live broadcast from Arizona. Ava began explaining the complete history of the Vindicator. The first case happened in April 1994 in Vermont, where the victim, Jolene Steiger, was found with 17 bloody arrows stuck in her body. On her chest was a list of 17 men she had cheated with. The note was signed by the Vindicator. Ava explained that a Vindicator believes their actions are right. The killer thinks they are revealing the hidden sins of their victims. In the first case, Jolene's husband, Bob Steiger, disappeared and was never found. His fingerprints were found on the arrows, but his bank account has never been used since. Then in 1999 in Illinois, after 12 cases using the same method, the police found a clue for the first time. A fingerprint on a message left by the Vindicator. That fingerprint belonged to Todd Hendricks. Despite DNA and fingerprint evidence, Todd was never convicted. Todd died in 2002. But after Todd's death, the Vindicator's murders did not stop, leading many to believe there was a copycat killer or that the police had accused the wrong person.
Ava said it was possible Todd never really died. Just as she was about to share facts supporting her theory, the lights suddenly went out and the barn became completely dark. A radio hissed, and then a distorted man's voice came through a walkie-talkie. The voice introduced itself as the Vindicator. At first, they thought it was just a joke, but then the voice started mentioning personal details about their lives. The Vindicator then offered them a game. The prize for this game was his identity. They could leave, but the Vindicator warned there would be consequences. Ava agreed, even though the others refused. The Vindicator ordered them to place their phones outside and go into the barn. As they walked to the barn, Tom tried to go to the car, but the tires had been slashed. Tom was forced to return and join the others. Inside the barn, Tom set up a camera in the corner. Suddenly, the barn locked from the outside. In the center of the barn, there was a chair with 3 wrist restraints. The Vindicator ordered them to wear them. He then told them to choose a number between 3 and 10. Brad chose the number 7. The game began. They had to answer 7 questions of repentance. If the answers were correct, the Vindicator would give them a clue about his identity. If they lied, refused, or tried to escape, there would be consequences. They also had one lifeline to avoid the consequences if they answered incorrectly. The first question went to Tom. The Vindicator asked Tommy for his full name. Tom answered correctly. The question was so ridiculous that Brad thought they were being tricked. Ava asked for the first clue. The Vindicator replied, "What do Michael Myers, the killer in the Scream movie, and Jason have in common?" They were confused. The second question went to Brad. The Vindicator asked Brad for his birthday. Brad lied without hesitation. Brad challenged the Vindicator about his next action. As punishment, the Vindicator ordered Ava and Tommy to kiss for 5 seconds, highlighting that Ava and Brad had been dating for 5 years.
Brad tried to walk away, refusing to look. Instantly, the bracelets on their wrists vibrated, causing intense pain. The shaking stopped only after Brad said, "Okay." He was forced to watch Ava kiss Tom. The Vindicator then began counting. For the third question, the Vindicator addressed Ava, asking her first crime. She admitted that she stole underwear with a friend when she was 13. The Vindicator told her that small offenses lead to major criminals. He said Ava's obsession with taking what wasn't hers had worsened, and her lies and theft now threatened innocent lives. Ava requested the next clue. It was hidden under a pile of straw. It was a published photo of Todd Hendricks' suicide, though his face was obscured. For the fourth question, the Vindicator's tone changed. He ordered Tommy to take off his shirt. Tommy then revealed scars covering his body. The Vindicator told him to share the story behind those injuries.
Tommy claimed they were from a car accident, but the Vindicator knew he was lying. He ordered Brad to retrieve Tommy's diary. Brad was shocked by the contents, which revealed Tommy was a masochist who secretly loved Ava and wanted her to hurt him to satisfy his urges. The Vindicator destroyed their relationship. Brad blamed Tom, calling him a psychopath. As punishment for the false answer, the Vindicator ordered Ava to hurt Tommy with a knife. Ava took the knife and apologized to Tommy. Tommy nodded, accepting it. Ava then stabbed Tommy in the leg, making him scream in pain. The Vindicator moved to the fifth question: when Brad last drank alcohol. Brad claimed 4 years of sobriety. The Vindicator exposed that Brad had relapsed and also revealed a text message Brad sent to Tommy, threatening to choke Ava after she turned down his marriage proposal. Brad denied the message until the Vindicator read it aloud, word for word. As punishment, Brad was ordered to choke Ava until the Vindicator told him to stop. Ava and Brad argued. Ava refused, wanting to focus on their successful podcast. Brad began choking her, but stopped before the Vindicator gave the order.
Brad then used their only lifeline to halt the punishment. The Vindicator agreed, but stated mercy had a price. He ordered Tommy to choose a weapon from the toolbox and hit Bradley. Before striking him, Tommy reminded Bradley of how badly he had treated Ava. Brad was then beaten. Next, the Vindicator asked Ava how she got the Jolly the Ripper file. Ava admitted she stole it from the police archives during a university study tour. This was confirmed, and the next clue was revealed: a framed photo of Todd Hendricks and Steve Hendricks when Steve was a child. For the final question, the Vindicator asked Brad what he did the night Ava rejected his proposal. Brad admitted he didn't just relapse, he slept with another woman in the same bed he shared with Ava. Ava was heartbroken. After the questions finished, the Vindicator gave them 2 minutes to guess his identity. Ava linked the clues: Todd Hendricks, the DNA found on a later victim, and the blurred face in Todd Hendricks' suicide photo. She guessed that Todd was alive and was the Vindicator. The Vindicator stated the answer was wrong. He gave a final ultimatum: one person must die within 1 minute, or all of them would die. He used a laser to threaten them.
Bradley suggested killing Tommy, claiming the whole situation was Tommy's psychopathic plan. Tommy suggested killing Bradley. While they argued, Brad suddenly attacked Tommy, trying to kill him. Before Brad succeeded, Ava began stabbing Brad until he died. Brad died. Then someone unlocked the barn door. Tommy ran out immediately, but the Vindicator quickly came from behind and knocked him down. Ava woke up with her hands tied. The Vindicator entered the barn carrying Tommy. He was revealed to be Professor Lance Clemens. Horrifically, Clemens cut open Tommy's chest, removed his heart, and threw it at Ava. Lance then planned to dissolve Ava in a vat of acid, leading her toward it. As Ava struggled, the acid spilled onto Lance's face, causing him pain. Ava dipped her hands into the acid vat and managed to loosen her restraints. She screamed and tried to escape through the gate, but it was chained. Lance recaptured her. Ava insisted her earlier guess was correct. Todd Hendricks was the real Vindicator. Clemens replied that Todd became careless and deserved to die in 2002. Lance had taken over the killings to properly complete the masterpiece. Ava backed up, grabbed a crowbar from a nearby toolbox, and struck him hard. In a moment of madness, she declared she was a better psychopath than Lance. She then killed him in the sulfuric acid vat. Lance died. Ava grabbed the car keys and the Vindicator's mask and left. The film concludes with another podcast episode discussing Ava's disappearance. Some people assume she dissolved in the acid vat, while others believe she is the killer. Steve Hendricks appeared on the podcast, claiming he was knocked unconscious and found a camera revealing the truth. During the broadcast, an audio recording played Ava's voice as she found Steve. The old Vindicator, Lance, is dead. A new, far more dangerous Vindicator has now been born. That's all for now. See you in the next recap.